Hi everyone, my name is Hannah, and I'm going to be uh, walking through the questions that we have this week about clinical mental health counseling for our live discussion coming up. Starting with, what is clinical mental health counseling? I'll be referencing my notes that I wrote down just because I tend to space what I want to say sometimes on video so that I don't forget anything. Um, I put that it is a distinct profession with national standards for education, training, is and clinical practice. That clinical mental health counselors operate from wellness perspective, which emphasizes moving toward optimal human functioning in mind, body, and spirit, and away from distress, dysfunction, and mental illness. And I feel like that is definitely kind of cover all. Uh, you definitely need to be in sync in every aspect. That's the main people or reason people do go to counseling for some kind of distress, no matter what category it's in. And you can, in my mind, physically, I used to do fitness instructing before I switched over to wanting to help people in this way. And your body, you can be in perfect physical health, but still have your mind racing about uh, things that it hasn't cleared up. Um, so if your mental wellness isn't good, that can also prevent you from physical wellness, because you could get depressed, not want to get out of bed as much, not feel like going to the gym, not, uh, you know, want to push yourself as much. So, and then that also all adds up to lowering your spirit, and because that makes your soul on the inside. I don't mean that to sound cheesy, but I mean that in a real way. Uh, makes you feel more down, kind of in every way, and so I think one kind of leaks into the other, and they definitely all flow together, um, and that's why. And the whole question of what is clinical mental health counseling, um, it's really to help people get all of that straightened out. There's so many different spectrums that you can't just, I used to think you could separate off, different spectrums of your life, but they all intertwine. And I feel like there's different forms of counseling, different links that people need for different reasons. But no matter what length you do, whether it's 6 weeks, 6 months, or 6 years, that's really what it's all about. And then going on to number 2, why is clinical mental health counseling an important part of our society? Well, we as people living within our society all make it up, all work together to keep it running, and we need to be doing well ourselves to be participating, healthy member of our society, helping one another. And I had wrote down, because it helps people navigate difficult life situations such as the death of a loved one, divorce, natural disasters, school stress, and the loss of a job. It provides the tools of insights to manage mental health issues such as anxiety and depression. Ultimately, counseling empowers people to lead healthy and fulfilling lives within our any community. And anxiety and depression was, I mainly hit on that, and the loss of jobs and everything, because relating to our current lives since COVID and everything people were put through the coronavirus time, has caused suicide rates and strife within families, causing a lot of marriages to go downhill, and people just it leading to divorce and things like that. So I think lately people have needed more of a boost, and counseling is one route of that. And number 3, what is needed to make counseling effective? The attributes of an all-effective counselor. I wrote some down that I thought were main attributes or qualities, you could say, for one to have. And I think you can definitely tell the difference between one that has these qualities and the ones that don't. Most of the ones have clients keep coming to them, and some of them they won't come back if they notice that the counselor doesn't possess these qualities. I've been counseling myself in past younger years, and I could tell when they didn't possess the kind of qualities that I looked up to or respected as someone sitting across from me. So number one, I think, is to have excellent communication skills. That give and take, actively listening, actually being able to hear and communicate back in a way that is good for the both of you, and acceptance, not being judgmental, and yes, the accepting attributes are very important. My interview with the counselor that I conducted this last week that we had, she pointed that out as well. She's like, I laugh with them, I cry with them. The second you pass, even a look of judgment, they are likely to not come back into you, because why would you want to pay to go be judged by somebody when anyone walking down the street can judge you? You're sitting there pouring out your heart. It's supposed to be honest with how you're feeling. So having, number 3, empathy is what I put, the ability to feel what another person is feeling. You definitely do need to empathize. You can't just be, I don't think, cold, rigid, have your wall up, since they're supposed to have their guard down with you more and more. Sympathizing with them, showing compassion, are all good traits. And also, a main one, problem-solving skills. You were there to help them solve a lot of their problems, not do it for them, but help them along the way, giving them homework, giving them ways to get to those points, even of problem solving. Help clients identify and make changes to negative thought patterns and other harmful behaviors that might be contributing to their issues. And also flexibility. Ability to adapt and change the way you respond to meet your client's needs. Like I had said, stay rigid and stick to a predetermined treatment path when your clients require a different approach. There's no point in sticking with a way that isn't working. You need it. Even if you put a lot of time into it and it was going good to a point, but for some reason it needs to be switched up, you need to go a different path. You need to be flexible enough to not be stubborn and to do that, because that is the whole overall big picture goal. And having that self-awareness, ability to look within and identify your own unmet psychological needs and desires, such as a need for intimacy or the desire to be professionally competent. That's another thing I learned in the interview with my counselor that I interviewed last week. To be good to help another client, you need to be good with yourself. I think it's in the book I was reading, along with the ACA Code of Ethics, that is a actually ethical thing. You shouldn't be practicing if you don't feel like you are competent enough to do so. If you need to take yourself to personal counseling, so that you can be solid for your clients, then that is what you really should do. And then multicultural competency. Counselors help people from all walks of life. They must display multicultural worldview. Multicultural competency means that you try to relate to and understand your clients regardless of their race, ethnicity, religious or political beliefs, or socioeconomic background. This one is a huge one that I didn't realize as much until I got into this program. I feel like this is my second class. The first one was about theories, and multiculturalism has been hit on in almost every discussion paper that we've had. We always need a section for it, and I'm starting to understand more why, because I don't want to just counsel in a box. I want to be able to counsel whether I move, travel, any spectrum of people. I've also lived I've lived from the East Coast to the West Coast myself, and have witnessed how, you don't want to offend somebody. You wouldn't want someone to not be on the same page as you either. So just having that connection and getting more of their background, so that every counseling session with every specific person is specific to them. And I think I went a little bit over the time, but I just look forward to seeing all of you that I will be seeing in my live discussion I'm doing on Wednesday morning at 9:30 Mountain Time. I hope you all have a great week and a great rest of the class. Thank you. Bye.